All right, Heinz Field with one of my favorites, Mike Warfield. We have a lot to get to, but let's start off just talking about the win against Mars and Tyke Hayes again over 200, a couple of big touchdowns. He did the same thing against Latrobe, the junior who's headed to Penn State. My question is, and I know you can do it, but if you have to do something other than run the football, are you ready to do that this weekend, sir?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we're a well-rounded team. I think I don't know what the ratio is as far as pass to run, but we also got Quentin Good. I mean,
he's pretty good.
He's the leading passer in Aliquippa history, leading touchdown passing in Aliquippa history. So I think we could do both. I mean, there's always depends at this time of the year, the weather conditions. So we always got to be aware of that. But I'm confident that if we have to, we could be productive.
Their game against McKeesport and all the games are going to be heard on the flagship home of the WPIL, KDK, Allegheny Health Network, of course, signature sponsor, along with a lot of other great people. I'm going to start everything off on the Big K Morning Show. One of my guests is going to be Dawn Yanessa.
Okay, all right.
So let's talk about Dawn
Yes,
Yanessa a little bit. What's this town mean to Dawn Yanessa and vice versa?
I think for me, he means everything to me. I mean, he was that father figure that I needed, coming out through high school. Matter of fact, he got me my first job. So he's that father figure, I think, in our era that we all needed. So what he's done for us is priceless. We appreciate, him really being that person that we know to get the program lifted back up where it needed to be and where it still is now.
I don't think a lot of people realize, even though this is your 16th consecutive trip to the WPIL championship, before Coach Yanessa, times were a little lean here, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't aware of all that because I was young, but as far as my knowledge of the history of it is that we really didn't start winning until he got here and just established the program to what it is today.
Well, we're going to talk about that whole thing as far as being who they are and the responsibility that comes with it. But first, real quick, McKeesport, Coach Miller, know the team well. The old wing T George Smith used to have. They've got those Spell brothers, Keemon and of course Keith, who had a spectacular game the other night, actually sacked the quarterback 5 times,
Yes.
multiple touchdowns. So this is going to be one for the ages. And when you look at the communities, Coach, kind of similar backgrounds, manufacturing side, blue collar mentality,
Yes.
been through some tough times, but they are now like Aliquippa, led of course by the great Mayor DeJuan Walker, making their way back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what Coach Miller is doing, I have a lot of respect for him and his whole entire coaching staff. I mean, to get to, the semifinals and not to the finals this year, 3 years in a row, that's impressive. I mean, in 4A, they got a tough division against TJ. I have a lot of respect for them, and that they have some really good players. They have some really good talent who's been there, who understands, has that experience. Number 6, Boyd's younger brother, number 26. Number 20 he can fly. The quarterback is good. Number 12, they had some big guys up front with 55 and 52. We got our hands full. They have a really good, solid offensive line. So we're gonna have to come ready to play. I mean, there ain't gonna be no secrets to how this game is gonna be won. I think they know, we know, and we'll see what happens at 8 o'clock on Friday.
All right, come back. One more with Coach Warfield. So grateful anytime I get a chance to spend time in this great community of Aliquippa. I was telling a dear friend of mine earlier today, young Anthony Allen, of course, our dear friend, his father, Tony, passed away about a year ago. I told him, I said, Anthony, of all the places that anybody could send me throughout my busy day in my life, one of the places I feel at home is Franklin Avenue and in Aliquippa. Up in this little place that is the campus of the Aliquippa High School. Good people doing great work every day. Quip Nation, much love. We'll come back one more with Coach Warfield with your Pratte Pack in a moment.